Hello and welcome. I'm State Representative Jerry Knowles. I represent a portion of Berks and Schuylkill counties, and I want to welcome you to this edition of Legislative Report. I'm happy to be able to say that we've taken the show on the road, and we are in beautiful downtown Tamaqua. So welcome, and I want to welcome one of my guests today. I have two guests, and my first guest is Dr. Joe Urenovitch. Dr. Joe, how are you?
Fine, just great.
Well, listen, welcome to Legislative Report. Dr. Joe Urenovitch is the president of Tide, which is the Tamaqua Industrial Development Enterprises here in the Tamaqua area. And Doc, let's get right into the meat of it. Can you talk a little bit about Tide? What is Tide and what do you do?
Well, all the industrial development work in the greater Tamaqua area is carried out by Tide. And Tide's mission is to create quality job opportunities for the for the workforce in the greater Tamaqua area. And Tide works very closely with the Chamber of Commerce, Tamaqua Chamber of Commerce, and with the Schuylkill Economic Development Corporation, known as SETCO. Our job, we together, working together in partnership, help companies locate to the Tamaqua area, or companies in the Tamaqua area help them expand their business. And we are continually providing assistance to make sure that these companies prosper.
Very good. Doc, I guess when we talk about Tide, we always like to hear about success stories. And can you talk a little bit about what was Tide's first success? What was their first success story?
The first success, and it was a great success, which we're all very proud of, was to locate the Air Products Specialty Gases Department to the Tamaqua area. They've been located on a site in western Rush Township. Air Products in the Tamaqua area produces electronic gases, and they employ today over 300 people. So we think it was a very big success, and we're very happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, Air Products. When we talk about Air Products, we're talking about, it's a worldwide corporation,
yes,
is it not?
Yes, it is. This group, Air Products Group that is here, is one of their divisions, makes strictly specialty gas products.
Very good. Doc, let's talk a little bit about Tide Park. Tide Park, as I know, as having been involved in the Tide organization for some time, talk a little bit about the park and what companies are located in the park.
Okay. Well, first of all, Tide owns and operates a park in eastern Rush Township in the greater Tamaqua area. It's a beautiful natural setting. It has a first-rate infrastructure, which will support the tenants in the park way into the future. It's a Pennsylvania Keystone Opportunity Zone, which helps tenants in the park with tax savings. It's located in the I-81 corridor between Scranton and Harrisburg, and therefore it's very accessible to many major markets. It's within a 500-mile radius of 40% of the nation's population and 60% of the Canadian population. It is very accessible through a network of major interstate highways. It has rail service. It also is supported and served by 3 regional airports and 2 international airports. Now, within the park, today there are 7 diverse companies operating.
Can you talk a little bit about, just briefly, the names and exactly what they do, Doc?
Sure. Well, first of all, there's a total, those 7 companies provide 470 jobs right now, and they have invested in plant and equipment approximately $68 million. Now, there's a new company right now building a facility in the park. That'll be the 8th company. Its name is Highline North America, and they're building a 38,000 square foot facility, and they will be employing 15 to 20 people when they start up, and they'll be investing $7 to $8 million in the plant and equipment. The companies today that are operating in the park include, number 1 is Highwood USA. they manufacture synthetic wood products. And those wood products are sold to other manufacturers who make outside patio furniture, outside benches, trim and cabinets for hot tubs. Then there's Gellner Industrial. Gellner Industrial produces water-based acrylic polymers. These are used in printing inks, they're used in high-gloss varnishes, and industrial coatings. Fox Transportation is located in the park. That's a trucking company that operates a fleet of air ride trailers, and they are able to distribute deep frozen food products. They also operate dry van and flatbed service. Another company is Veolia, North America. Now they work strictly under contract with Air Products to purify their scrubber solutions and then return them to Air Products. Silverline Manufacturing Company also is located in the park. They manufacture special effect and performance aluminum pigments. Now in the park, and most of those products go into the automotive paint industry, but they are supplying more and more other industries. They also, in the park, have a basic R&D facility and an advanced manufacturing facility, both of which have won awards for their nanotechnology that was developed in the R&D department and their advanced manufacturing of aluminum pigments. Transwestern Polymers is a company in the park. They manufacture plastic trash bags, and they distribute those. They manufacture those products for private label companies in eastern and midwestern United States. The last company operating today in the park is Elk Lighting Group. Elk assembles and distributes both indoor and outdoor lighting products throughout the United States and foreign and internationally.
Very interesting mix of small business and big business. So the company in the park, the industry that employs the most, how many are we talking about?
Well, Transwestern Polymers is the largest employer in the park, and they employ approximately 230 people.
And then the smallest would be?
I think it would be Gellner Industrial, which employs about 6 people.
Okay, well that's, Doc, I believe my understanding is that the park is very quickly filling up, that we've gotten to a point where we're looking. Are you guys out looking for new property where we can grow, where we can,
yes,
where we can place additional industry?
Yes, that's a very important point. The park right now is really, there's only one lot, about 10-acre lot left that hasn't been sold. There are some other lots. I haven't talked about the companies because they're not operating in the park right now, but several other companies have purchased lots up there. Now, the last lot that's there, the 10-acre lot, we are in the process of preparing a pad-ready site for a company to come in. What I mean by a pad-ready site is that it'll be all cleared, all the infrastructure will be connected to it, water, sewer, etc. There'll be stormwater permits obtained and methods for treating stormwater. So a company just needs to come in, put a pad down, and put their building on top of it. And that's a very important project that we're working on. But that happens to be the very last site that's available within the park. Therefore, it's very important that Tide goes out and finds a new land, new site, so for industrial development for the future. And we are actively doing that right now.
What other things are you working on right now, Joe? I mean, I'm sure there's other things that you have in the...
Yes, certainly. In addition to the pad-ready site, we have a program to continue maintaining and further beautifying the Tide Industrial Park right now. We're going to be adding more lighting to the park. We're working on repairing of the roads in the park. And then, of course, one major project, in addition to looking for the new land, is to find new companies to move into the Tacp area.
One of the things, Doc, and I say this all the time, and I want to thank you because people need to understand that economic development is a constant battle. I mean, and it seems that people need to recognize that. They need to recognize that you may lose a company and you may lose 300 jobs. It's just a constant battle that you need to be continually working. And this is important, not only in the recruiting of new businesses or new industries, but you need to be focused just as much on helping the businesses that are here grow, because you know, I believe that any business that's if it's going to continue to succeed, it has to be growing.
Yes.
What was your background, Doc? I mean, and by the way, everything that you do, you don't get paid for this. You're a volunteer.
No, I'm a volunteer. But I enjoy very much working in the Tide organization. But getting back to your point on servicing companies, we feel in Tide that's a very important point, that when we have a company here, that we help them and continually give them the assistance and the services they need to continue to grow and prosper. Very important point. My background, getting to my background, I am a chemist by training. I went to the University of Pennsylvania, obtained a PhD in chemistry, and then worked at Air Products in Trexlertown and in the Tamaqua area. I left Air Product. I worked there for 15 years. I left Air Products and took a position as Vice President of Technology for Atlas Powder Company, which was then purchased by ICI, which is a major chemical company. And I was in charge of all their research and technology throughout the world. So then after retiring in 2000, I wanted to give back to the community, so I wanted to get involved in an organization like Tide to help. And I think Tide is the best nonprofit organization in the area where I can utilize some of my background maybe to help them succeed.
Well, Dr. Joe Urenovitch, it's hard to believe that the time goes by so quickly, and this segment of the program is coming to an end. I want to thank you for the relationship that you have working with Senator Dave Argel and with me in helping create jobs and helping retain jobs here in the greater Tamaqua area. Tide is very lucky to have you as our president, so thank you very much.
Thank you.